Hello, people. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Hope everyone's had a fantastic week. It is Friday, the 12th of December. 2 weeks till Christmas, 1 week exactly till its 6-year anniversary of Super Duper Mick being Arsenal manager as well, by the way. If you missed that memo, basically saying. But obviously, we are putting all the things aside. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK time, Arsenal are facing Wolves. So we're going to do a little bit of preview show. Martinelli has made some shocking comments to some degree regarding certain player at Arsenal. And if we have enough time, we should be able also to do the waffle settings, Mickey Mouse music, of course, with the Arteta press conference. So we're going to get into that step by step. We're going to do things as always. And of course, don't forget to like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. And don't forget to leave your thoughts about the Wolves game. What do you expect? What rotation you expect? And everything down in the live chat. And yeah. Yeah, let's see how this goes. But yeah, Arsenal tomorrow, 8 p.m. kickoff, are facing Wolves. That is going to be the second part of the stream. The first part of the stream, we're going to talk about some things today basically popped up on social media regarding Arsenal. And we're going to kick things off with this one. Obviously, as we all know, Arsenal have gone rid, cut ties, let's just put it that way, with what's its face, with Visit Rwanda sponsorship deal, right? So they are getting a new sponsor starting next season, and the sponsor is a bit of an interesting one. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit of an interesting one. It's gonna be Human Payroll and Resources Company, which sounds very weird when you listen like that. And again, it's American, of course, as always, since we have American owners. Arsenal have reached a massive sponsorship agreement with Deal, the global payroll powerhouse, who is also believed to replace the Visit Rwanda sleeve patch on the iconic Arsenal jersey. That's going to start happening, I think, next season. Darren Dean, the son of Arsenal's ex-vice chairman David Dean, the days of David Dean at Arsenal, introduced the two parties. Darren Dean is also credited for his work on the Spotify Barcelona blockbuster deal. Remember that one? And everything. Juliet Slot out, and her team were at the heart of this mega deal, which swiftly gained the approval of Josh Kroenke and the new board. That is the deal at the moment that is circulating in the media. Those are the rumors in terms of Arsenal's new sponsorship deal. It's another mega deal. Arsenal probably will going to get a pretty penny for it, 100%. And yeah, this is the one that's going to replace Visit Rwanda. According to rumors, also Chelsea were closing in on a permanent deal with Deal, but Arsenal somehow snatched it. Arsenal stole the show. Arsenal decided to get it. Obviously, nothing special. It doesn't affect us that much. It's just a sponsor. It's more money and all this stuff getting pumped into the club. And that's about it. There's nothing much to it. I don't know how people feel about it. I don't know what people expect from it, because I'm not going to lie, there is nothing much to expect. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Hendon. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well today, bro. Smash the like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new people, of course. And the other news, which is going to be, this is going to be a bit interesting one. This is going to be more interesting. Carlo Ancelotti has picked Arsenal to win the Champions League this season. Yes, the same Ancelotti who pretty much quite a big part of the fan base didn't want to replace Mikel Arteta with. Obviously, people will say that that's how much Arteta has grown. That's how good Arteta is. Let's just put it that way. But to some degree, let's be real, that isn't the case, is it? Like, Carlo Ancelotti somehow picked also Arsenal over Real Madrid, which is very interesting, I'm not going to lie. It's also a very bold claim for me personally, because Arsenal have pretty much no pedigree whatsoever in Champions League. At some point, obviously, we have to break the duck. The penny has to drop and we have to win it. Could this be the year? That is the big question, because so far, 6 games into Champions League, 6 wins. We are still unbeaten. We are top of the Champions League. And if I'm not mistaken, also a guaranteed spot into the top 8, which means we have qualified for the next round of Champions League, which obviously is going to put us in the round of what's it's going to be 16 round of 16. I think it's going to be round of 16. So yeah, another interesting one for me. The most interesting part is now people are preaching that this is the gospel. The same Ancelotti some Arsenal fans didn't want as Arsenal manager as well. Let's be real, which is very interesting. Let's just put it that way. Obviously it's nice to getting recognition from Carlo Ancelotti. Let's be real, there is no argument about that. The most decorated manager in Real Madrid's history. There's nothing short of brilliant regarding that, of course, 100%. Let's just put it that way. So we'll see how. Let's see how that is going to go, of course. But yeah, oh my goodness gracious. Big up Yassa. Yassa, the taxman is here. He has collected his pretty penny for Madueke for scoring the 2 goals in Champions League for Arsenal. And he is here to give basically a bit of a tax return. Let's just put it that way. Big up Yassa for gifting a membership, and he has gifted it to BBK Sports. What a nice gesture. It's random, obviously, and it's being gifted to BBK. Big up Taran as well. Big up Yassa. Big up. Why does it have to go to BBK? I mean, nothing bad with that. Nothing bad. See, I told you Madueke weren't that bad. Bro, trust me. Madueke last year did the same thing for you lot. Don't try to gaslight me or anything, right? Because last year he scored a hat-trick against Wolves, then he scored half a year later 2 goals against Wolves, and that was pretty much like 80% of the goals he scored last year for you lot. So don't gaslight me. Also, it was against Belgian chocolate makers, right? So it's a bit different. If he can do this so in Premier League somewhat consistently, I will have no issues with that. But hey, I guess beggars can be choosers in that regard. By the way, if you are open for some deals, I'm willing to sell you a striker, right? He's very good. He's tall. He's good with keeping up the ball and everything. He comes from Germany. So you know the German quality is definitely amazing there. And his name is Kai Havertz. You might be familiar with his work. He was very good at Bayer Leverkusen. After that, he played at the London Blues, whatever that is. Maybe you can have him. Maybe you want him. Maybe, just maybe. Yeah, Belgian chocolate makers. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, ultimately, at the end of the day, Carlo Ancelotti, yes, he has picked Arsenal to win the Champions League. For me, it's a bit of a weird one. I get why he has done it, of course. I understand the reasons behind it as well, but for me, it's a bit different. I don't know. It's a bit different. Let's just put it that way. I don't know what other people make out of this, of course. I don't know what people make out of this, but that definitely was a bit of a unique situation when I went on social media and I saw that Carlo Ancelotti is backing Super Duper Mick to win it all. Let's be real, to win Champions League, which is quite interesting. I'm not going to lie. Big up Wahaha. Robo is trying to return an item after 4 years. Yeah. We took him on loan. 65 million loan, by the way. 65 goddamn million loan, right? Plus we pay his wages and everything that's extra. Another 15 million or to 30 million over the years, right? So we basically paid 100 million for him overall. So why not? We can return your 100 million investment. Why not? You got the money, you can get the player back and everything. Although it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting how that happens and how that goes, of course. But yeah, and the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, which is on topic right now, because we did a stream on this yesterday regarding Gyökeres versus Havertz versus Jesus versus also Merino, Arsenal striker situation, conundrum, and all this stuff. Gabriel Martinelli, right? He has come out in an interview and said that Arsenal have one of the best strikers in the world. And it's not Victor Gyökeres. Now, I'm not going to open the article. I have read it. I have seen it. And basically, he says it's Gabriel Jesus. Somehow, he has figured out that Gabriel Jesus is the Arsenal have world-class level striker in Gabriel Jesus. Same Jesus who barely can play a game. And same Jesus who has no knees. So Go figure how that is working out, and go figure and everything, right? But ultimately, it's a weird one. It definitely is a weird one how he has come out and said that Gabriel Jesus is one of the best strikers in the world. And this actually ties very nicely with this one, because few years ago, I also posted a video regarding what Arsenal think, right, about Gabriel Jesus. And here it is. This was posted on July 20th, 2024, so almost a year and a half ago. And this was actually a thing. There are reports about this. There are articles and everything that Arsenal actually consider Gabriel Jesus being a top 5 striker in the world. And now we have Gabriel Martinelli coming out in an interview and saying that Arsenal have a world-class striker. You will. Make of that as you will. Like, I'm not saying Gabriel Jesus is bad. I really like Gabriel Jesus, right? Gabriel Jesus is actually very good. He has some very good qualities, very distinct, unique abilities that Arsenal need in our attack, right? But he has come out himself in an interview and he has said that, well, let's be real. Scoring goals is not his best ability. It's not his forte. So how can he have one of the best strikers? How can he be one of the best strikers in the world if he cannot score goals? Make that make sense to some degree. Yeah, Oaxaca, the cat's out of the bag. Gabriel Jesus is the world-class striker. Cat's out of the bag. Arsenal apparently have been deceiving everyone for years with the injuries. He is the best striker in the world, ironically enough. But yeah, ultimately, yeah. It's very, very interesting how things go, how things circulate in the media, what people say, to follow them to some degree, right? It's very, very interesting. But I guess we digress. We digress in that regard. But yeah, that was the mini intro. That was the mini intro for overall, for everything, right? But we're gonna get into the real things right now. Tomorrow, Arsenal are playing against Wolves in the Premier League. 8 p.m. kickoff, late kickoff, which means I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. Ironically enough, I'm going to be watching the game on TV. I'm going to be chilling, relaxing, soaking in the game. Let's just put it that way. And we're going to get into the starting 11 in about 20 or minutes or half an hour, something like that. But we must do something different here. Not different. We're going to do Hendon Gooner's favorite segment of the preview shows. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do Hendon Gooner's favorite segment of the preview shows. We're going to do Hendon's favorite segment, which is called, and you guessed it, Mickey Ross waffle settings. Get your waffles, get your syrup, get your hot cocoa, whiskey, tea, coffee, whatever you wanna, and let's do this. Mikel Arteta waffle house settings before the game against Wolves, of course. Big up Marlon. Big up. Have a scrap to never have a start over Gyökeres. Yeah, true, but Martinelli has come out in an interview today and said that Arsenal have a world-class striker in their team, and it's not Gyökeres, it's Gabriel Jesus. So I guess Jesus then is going to start. Jesus is going to start, I guess, in that regard. And why is Arteta fan started glazing Jesus like bro is prime R9? You see, you hit bar one time, you have hit the bar. You have reached the bar, basically, and he's now the best thing since sliced bread. Rest right, Simba, Saka, so they have a good week off before Everton match, bearing in mind that Arsenal also play Palace on Tuesday, the 23rd of December. Yeah, we have to do something. We definitely have to do something. But yeah, people, Waffle House settings. Let's see what Mikel Arteta has to say. Are there any updates on the injuries? And that is something I really want to know. On William Saliba, one of the big ones, we have to wait and see. Yesterday we didn't train, so we have an extra day between this afternoon. Let's see if he can be available or not. it remains the same. If you ask me for the Everton game, I think he will be fit for tomorrow. I don't know. So at least for one more week, Saliba could be out. Yuri and Simba, next one. Again, depends how he feels today. It was a knock that he picked, and he wasn't feeling comfortable. So again, I think it's a matter of days, but whether it's tomorrow or not, we'll see. Again, why cannot Mikel Arteta come out in these press conferences and say and give it straight? Yes, he's injured, he's out for tomorrow, or no, he's not, he's gonna play tomorrow. Especially the game is against Wolves, relegation team that's gonna get relegated most likely this season. Why he cannot do that? Why he cannot do that? On Declan Rice, let's see how he is today. He was ill. That's an illness. Well, no, when you say ill, I think he spilled his tea. What the hell? Normally in a few days it gets resolved, but we have to wait and see. So Declan Rice he has the flu most likely. Leandro Trossard, next one. Again, another one that is a matter of days. It sounds boring, but it's the reality, so we don't know. Oh, bloody hell. Arteta is giving nothing. Arteta is literally giving nothing in these interviews about the injuries. Jesus won't last more than 2 matches before those fragile knees give up the ghost. We'll see. Obviously, the doubts are there, but if he proves us wrong, more power to him. He scored 5 goals in Champions League. Feel like he's the best winger in the world. Like, to be honest, he has 5 goals in Champions League. Like, it's group stages. If he drops a stinker in a quarterfinals or semifinals when we need him the most, means nothing. The 5 goals in the group stages. Men picking up knocks like they're foraging for mushrooms. Yeah, basically. Basically, that's what it is. On keeping the momentum going after midweek. For sure, after any defeat, you want to put it right straight away. We certainly did that, put ourselves in a great position in the Champions League, and now it's about Wolves. Focusing back on the Premier League after what happened and the result that we had against Villa. It's a massive opportunity for us again to win the game and put ourselves in a good position. Yeah, because if we lose this game, or even draw this game, bigger chances than not, then City is going to catch us up. Facing Wolves team without a win this season. If any Premier League match, and especially against a team that is fighting against results, I know the manager really well and how he's going to push and get the players ready to try to cause a shock. From our side, we are going to go full gas from the beginning, and we know what we have to do. I just hope Arsenal don't pull a Santa Claus FC, basically, at the end of the day. You know how the teams can be struggling to the maximum degree, and when they play Arsenal, somehow they turn into prime Barcelona or something like that. I've had that on multiple occasions before especially against Southampton. Because if we lose or if we give Wolves the first win of the season, we might as well chalk it up. On if we have to beat Wolves to win the league at the end. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because teams that lose to relegation teams don't win the league. Look at Arsenal. We lost to Southampton. We didn't win the league. Prime example. At the end, you're going to have over 90 points probably to win it. So that means winning a lot of football matches. And tomorrow we have 3 points that we have to earn. Yeah. On winning 2 of the last 5 in the league. Oh, that is not a great stat, is it? Somebody is calling him out finally on something. On winning only 2 of the last 5 matches in the league. 2 draws, 1 loss, and 2 wins. It's not great, is it? It definitely is not great. Hopefully tomorrow we'll change that and there will be a different different. And in the last one, we are the best. So we try in every game, and that's the only thing that we can do in terms of being consistent as possible. On the Opta supercomputer, making us the favorites to win the league. Nobody effing cares. On guarding against complacency, well, showing them, our players, that the team that they are, that the game that they had against Villa a few weeks ago, and understand that the team in that position have to react and have to show their teeth. And that's a very dangerous thing, especially in this league when every team has the quality that they have. So from our side, that's not going to happen. Well, we'll see about that one, Chief, won't we? On more open play goals in recent matches, this is football and it has waves. And you try to analyze the last 5 games or 10 games, and the sample is that small that you get very, very confused. Well, maybe you get confused. I don't know about other people. At the end, even 40 games is not enough to have a sample of what your team looks like because it's too small. Hold on. You want to tell me you play pretty much a whole season, 40 games, let's just say. If you take out Europe, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and all this stuff, you play 38 games a season. If you cannot figure out in 38 games, to be honest, in like 20, you should do that, but it's a bit different story. If you need 40 games to figure out how teams looks like, and you even then cannot figure it out sometimes because it's too small sample size, why the hell are you the manager? Why the hell are you getting 15 million a year? But the fact that we have our resource to score and from various positions with different players in different manners, that's a great thing. And this is the case. Various positions with different players. And this is basically what Mikel Arteta is basically going for. He doesn't want out-and-out number 9, like Gyökeres, who will bag 20 plus 30 goals and be the main gunman. He wants to share the goals around. That is the main thing about Mikel Arteta. And whether that plays in our favor or not depends. But ultimately, that is the sad part about this. Because in 22-23 season, Arteta said in press conference that we don't need an out-and-out number 9 because we share the goals around. Fast forward 1 year when we lost to Bayern, he got asked, why did we lose to Bayern? Why can't we score the goals? And then he said pretty much that we don't have an out-and-out number 9 who can bag those goals. So make up your mind, for God's sakes. Make up your goddamn mind. Let's just put it that way. On Jesus returning and fighting for his spot. We know his quality. A player who has given us so much, and he comes with the energy that came the other day. He certainly is a player who has to be pushing and aiming for that. On if his side are getting enough credit, I don't know. That's not for me to judge. Yeah, see? All the haters and everything, all the top Gooners, that's one side that gives too much credit. Other side, seems that they don't give enough credit. But at the end of the day, it's not like, for example, I can only speak for myself. It's not like I don't give enough credit. It's the fact that there's a credit limit. It runs out. You have to pay it back. And unfortunately, he has basically drained the account dry. He has maxed out all the cards. And he basically needs to buy something back. He needs to put the money back. And at the moment, he's not doing it. Hence why, open to criticism, isn't it? Let's be real. Big up, Andrew. Big up, Andrew. Hope you're doing well. Big up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Smash the likes, people, and don't forget to subscribe as well, my guy. People, let's be real. But yeah, on Christian Norgard playing center back, I think that comes to the mentality of the players, the intelligence of a player like Christian as well, on how to fulfill that role. So this is basically a talk about Skelly left back, Partey right back, and all this stuff. In the morning, you tell him surprisingly that he needs to play in that position because we don't have any other players in there. Then you need to fulfill that role, but we have a lot of examples that players that have played in different positions, like Mikel Merino, like many others, and that's great because that gives us an edge. It gives us an edge. I understand where Mikel Arteta is coming from saying this, because it gives us an edge to a certain degree. Let's just put it that way, of course. But at the same time, it also hinders us. It also hinders us. On if he's enjoying the season, I do enjoy it a lot because of the people that are around us and how we live and work together. Obviously, winning a lot helps because it's different profession when you win or you lose. I feel privileged to be where I am and keeping it going. And if we can win the quad, here we go. Here we go. Top Gooner, Dio, who else is there? Dio and everyone's question. Because Dio is running with the alarm bells around and still saying that, well, we're going to win the quad. Well, it's only the 3 points of tomorrow, and I think that's enough for the supercomputer in my mind. What the hell is that even for a question and an answer? on Victor Gyökeres and the club adapting to his style. And there it is. This is the big one. And it's very evident that these journalists and even Mikel Arteta himself and players see what we say on social media. Because Gyökeres gets talked about more and more and more. And the talk is getting louder and louder and louder in terms of Gyökeres not suiting the style of how Mikel wants to play. It's Mikel who dictates the style, which means that either Gyökeres adapts to Mikel's style, because Mikel is never going to adapt to Gyökeres' style, and that is how we're going to decide this. That is how we're going to decide this at the end of the day, 100%. Big up, Habra. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Hope you're doing well today, bro. Wolves, easy win. Well, I hope so, because we don't do well against these smaller teams. We should be destroying them to some degree. At the same time, right? Look what happened when we played Southampton, for example. Look what happened when we played who was it? Was it Bournemouth at the time or something like that? We barely got a draw and everything. Nelly needs to sell himself and learn to dribble. Yeah, I think Main is Champions League and Prem. I don't care about the quad. I care about every trophy Arsenal win, because trophies are what make Arsenal who they are today at the end of the day. And let's not forget, FA Cup, for example, is something that Arsenal's foundation is basically built on to some degree. We have 14 of those. So we need the cups. We need to build the prestige of the club as well somehow. Was it Camden who asked about the quad? Wouldn't be surprised. Definitely would not be surprised. Definitely would not be surprised. Give me a sec. Okay, on Victor Gyökeres adapting to his style, I think the two things have to merge. I think we have to put the player in the best possible condition to explode and fulfill his potential. And then there are certain things that within the role, in the manner that we play, has to be fulfilled. And that's a combination of both. Then it's not only that. I think more importantly is the connections and the players around him at the end. Those interactions, that understanding how it develops. And before the injury, I think it was a great place. I think it took him a while at the beginning because it's a different league, different demands. He had to basically blah blah blah. The goals will come, and they're going to be very pleased with him. Hopefully, so far it doesn't look like it, does it? On having a week with no midweek match, well, three things: make sure that we can give some rest to the players mentally and physically. Then start to reactivate everybody. Reactivate. Literally, it sounds like he's talking about robots. Reactivate. And start working on things that you don't have time to work on. Then start to be in the best possible physical and emotional mindset to do what's required to be ready. 3. Any fresh injuries from Wednesday? Nope. On what's Saliba's issue? It was something quite small. That's what she said. It came from an ankle injury that he had, and then he started to modify the way he was running, and he started to overload an area, which is something common. Oh, fucking hell. This sounds like advanced physics class or something. It was something small, and then he started to modify it and everything. Like, what the hell? It's not like engineering 101 or crap like that. He looks bare, but we'll have to wait and see. And if he would consider selling Gabriel Jesus. Oh, here we go. Somebody asked actually a proper question, partially. Let's not forget that. I don't consider that, especially with the situation that we have right now. I think Gabriel has a lot to offer and to earn the team straight away. In the first minute that he was available to play, he's put so much to be in this position again, and now focus is to be with us. Well, we'll see about that one, Chief. We'll see about that one, Chief. Let's see. On Ethan Vanieri's attitude. Oh, bloody hell. Here we go. Ethan Vanieri's attitude. This is going to be good. In the same manner that the other players have to cope with this kind of situation, preparing is the best possible way. I think he's doing it. His attitude has been excellent. And when he's got the chance to play, he proved that I'm wrong, that he needs to play more minutes and help the team as much. Wait. His attitude has been, and when he's got the chance to play, he proved that I'm wrong. So he has already done that. Ethan has already proved Arteta wrong. He needs to play more minutes and help the team as much as possible. Play him then. Fucking play him then, goddammit. On him asking to play in the behind closed doors friendly, Ethan's attitude on that is exceptional. He wants to chant, he wants to be outside, and he wants to be in touch with the ball. In that sense, he's top. Well, he has two of them. On how impressed he has been with Martin Zubimendi. See, have you noticed that these questions about the players, specific players that are coming out right now, you see Jesus, Gyökeres, Saliba, Zubimendi, and all these guys, are the topics we have discussed here on other Arsenal channels and everything over the last few weeks very, very commonly. Quite a lot, and it has gained some traction, and it feels like Arsenal's social media team has scouted basically Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, and everything. And they're asking these questions right now. They are asking these questions right now at the end of the day. Very impressed because I know the difficulty of coming into this league and doing what he's doing immediately. Well, he's been quite 50-50 still. First of all, you have to earn the role within the team, and that's not easy. First of all, you have to earn the role in the team. You signed him and he's starting every game. It's not like he was starting from the bench and he earned to be a starter. He pretty much was thrown in the deep end instantly. Then it's a different way of playing a different league. But as you said, the variety of actions and involvements that he has in the game is exceptional. I'm not reading further than that because my brain's already melting. And if he thought Zubimendi would need an adaptation period, yes, but I think the fact that he could prepare for a longer period because he sort of knew that he was coming, I think that helped. It was something immediate that happened. So we talked a lot about how he was going to be needed, the challenges that he was going to face, but as well his abilities and capacities we were going to fit so well within the team, and he's proven that on the pitch. Let's just put it that way. Let's see. Arteta couldn't even beat Chelsea with 10 men and lost Liverpool. That we should, easy with Arteta. Yeah, let's go get Mr. Hospital. He's going to be the one. And Yildiz should be our main target in January. Yeah, and a left back and a center mid. Yeah, and all these players. Basic translation, Saliba got an injury, didn't properly recover, and our bomb staff couldn't assess the damage well enough, so his injury got worse, and here we are. Yeah, basically. At the end of the day, that is the basic assessment in basic terms, yeah. This is about Ethan Vanieri. Yeah. Why don't you goddamn play him then, and he won't have no damn attitude? Why? Because he's far better than... yeah. Zubi's main DM, what did he have to work for? Exactly. He already did everything he needed to do. On if Victor Gyökeres needs goals to get into form, well, that goes without saying. For a striker to be in form, he needs to score goals. Yes, probably the thing that's going to unlock him is goals. Yeah, so why did Bukayo Saka steal one of his goals in that penalty? And why don't you play to him? Why don't you create chances for him? Why don't you play in a way that he can get some goals? Because he gets nothing. He literally gets nothing at the moment. Let's be real. He absolutely gets nothing. That is the worst part. That literally is the worst part, if you think about it. On if Manchester City are back to their best. There are a lot of teams involved when you look at the table. We know the situation with other clubs, with Manchester City and blah, 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 blah. On Arsenal in the community celebrating 40 years. That's something remarkable, probably amazing. Yeah, fantastic. Now, I want to get to one question. which I saw. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. On Victor Gyökeres and the club adapting to his style. This is the big one. I think the two things have to merge. I think we have to put the player in the best possible condition to explode and fulfill his potential. And I think importantly, it's the connections and the players around him at the end. Those interactions, that understanding how it develops, right? And then Gyökeres gets asked about Gyökeres, the question, does Gyökeres need goals to get in form, right? Yes, probably needs the thing that's going to unlock him, right? This is what Mikel Arteta said. Now, look at this image and tell me if there's something wrong, if there is something wrong with this or not. Look at this image. This is who is even playing? Yeah, Martin Odegaard's how the passing works. Do you notice something? Do you notice something that number 14 up there with no passing arrows going to him? Have you noticed that? Yet Arteta says they need connections, he needs the service, he needs help, and he needs the goals. How can he do any of that if none of the passes are going there? It's actually insane. It is actually insane. Sack the medical staff to some degree. And he needs to get treated like an actual damn striker. Exactly. Why don't you pass to him? Exactly. Look at this. Unlock. Yeah, unlock. Explode. Gyökeres was stranded on an island once again against Brugge. Yeah, he must do better, but the system isn't even doing him any favors. Yeah. Odegaard is bad. Yeah. Looks about right, and that is the case. It looks about right because it's the truth. We surely have an idiot as a man. It feels that way, I'm not gonna lie. So they are more back than you ever think. No service equals no goals. Yeah. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Hairflick's bromance in shambles. Oh, the whole guy's like a snail who lost his shell and it's too lazy to find it. Well, but yeah, this is the image. This is the image at the end of the day. Nobody's giving him anything. Absolutely anything. This is how Arsenal's attack operates. Looks like a crown. It is a horseshoe, exactly. Arsenal play horseshoe-style football. And the nuts part is, if you put in that position, right? If you put in that position Havertz or Jesus, you just know that there would be endless amount of passes going into that number 9 spot. You just know that there would be endless amount of passes going in there. You just know that. You absolutely just know that. It's like he's an our striker. They act like he's a right. Basically, yeah. It's like we're playing with 10 men against 12 at the end of the day. This is the worrying thing. This is the worrying thing. But hey, I guess it is what it is if we are looking at it from that point of view, right? We are winning. We cannot complain. We cannot call this out according to top Gooner. So I guess our opinions don't matter at the end of the day. That's what at least feels like. That's what they're saying. Not to mention what Stricto said, that international fans' opinions don't matter. Let's just put it that way. But even Jesus was effective playing on the wing against Brugge. Yeah, he was from the left in the ins and everything with the dribbling, with the passing. He was very effective because that is the case. This system, this style we play is built for Jesus and Havertz. It's not built for Gyökeres, and it shows. It definitely shows without shadow of a doubt. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. Anyways, Arsenal versus Wolves tomorrow, 8 p.m. kickoff. I expect a win. That goes without saying. If we get anything besides 3 points, you might as well sack the manager there. because there are no excuses not to beat last place Wolves, who have not won a game in Premier League yet. There are no reasons why. Because this is the Premier League table at the moment. Right? This is the Premier League table at the moment. And if you look at Wolves, 15 games, 0 wins. They have no wins. 2 draws and 13 losses. Minus 25 goal difference. If we don't win this game, it's gonna be shambles. It's gonna be shambles. Like, there's no other way to put it. It's gonna be the end of days. There's no excuses not to win this game whatsoever. Let's be real. But Arsenal have this tendency to be Santa Claus FC at times and give teams that should not be getting any points. Arsenal have a tendency to give them some points. Big up, Randy. Big up, Randy. Hope you're doing well. The same guy who dribbles with his head down somehow. Yeah, dare I say, he don't win, sack him. Yeah, easy. The systems that last season saw none of the attackers score more than 10 goals each in open play. Yeah. Also didn't help that Havertz missed from 2 yards out. Even 2-0 would be a bit embarrassing. Yeah, we should be beating Wolves like 4-0 at least. Like, we should score at least 3-4 goals against Wolves without questions asked. We should. But you know how that goes. We get too overconfident. It's a guaranteed win pretty much in our minds and everything, and then Arsenal drop the ball. Has happened before. It wouldn't be the first time. Like, let's be real. It would not be the first time at all. Sons Arsenal coming to town. Wolves get a nice present. Just wait and see. Basically, we did that with Southampton. Those were the good days. We were 2-0 down. We bowed back to make it 3-3. We barely did that against Bournemouth when Nelson scored that wonder goal. I would hope for Wolves to do something, but after United game, no chance. They are so bad they beat themselves. Yeah. But you just know that it would be very typical Arsenal game where this type of a team gets a result out of it. That is the biggest worry for me. And I'm not saying that to be toxic and negative and all this crap that people want to throw at me. I'm saying that because that's what history has showed me. And that for me is the biggest worry, hence why I'm talking this stuff. Because history has showed us that Arsenal have these tendencies to be this type of a team. It's no wonder, because a few years ago we talked about this. You do not deserve to win the league if you cannot beat a team that pretty much gets almost the least amount of points in Premier League history nearly. You don't deserve to do that. Let's be real. With this attack and Arteta's manager, we should 4+. Yeah, exactly. Madueke should be starting. And speaking of Madueke starting, predicted 11. 11 we would like to see to some degree against Wolves. See? Who you starting tomorrow? Here we go. We're going to do this together, people. We're going to do this together. You know how this goes. We're all in this together. And all that stuff. You know. Let's see. Who we are putting in goal. I assume people are going to say Raya most likely, because he is the Premier League goalkeeper. People are going to say Raya, right? Goalkeeper, first one. Yeah, I think so too. Raya easy, yeah. He is the Premier League goalkeeper. It feels like Kepa only plays in Carabao Cup. Kepa only plays in Carabao Cup. Big up Gunner Street. Big up Gunner Street, people. If you haven't already subscribed to Gunner Street, what the hell are you doing? Go subscribe to Gunner Street. Go show him some love. Top guy, top content. Go show him some love, for lack of a better word. Let's just put it that way. Best keeper in the league. Something, yeah. Like 2 golden gloves in a row. You kind of hard to put it against that. Big up, Gary. Big up, Gary. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well. Hope everything's fine with you this beautiful Friday. Hope everything's fine with you this beautiful Friday, people. If you haven't already as well, go subscribe to Gary. Don't waste the trip and everything. Go show him some love, people. Go show him some love. Here is Gunner Street's link, and here is Gary's link. Go show them some love, people. Top guys, Arsenal fans, amazing content. You know the drill, people. You know the drill. We want a confident smack, and we pretty much know it will be a good win. But what happened could keep us. Yeah, exactly. And especially if Wolves score first, it will give them that extra confidence, and then it's gonna be real tough. Let's be real. And that is the biggest issue. Raya needs a rest. Raya needs a rest. But when? Because Raya could have been easily rested against Club Brugge. Easily could have been rested. Let's be real. Raya could have been rested in multiple games, to be honest. And Arteta just doesn't do it. Absolutely doesn't do it. Big up, Terry Tibbs. Big up. Anything less than 4-0 isn't good enough. Yeah, I said this same thing. 3-4 goals minimum tomorrow. So-called best squad in the world, the best depth in the world, bang average United put 4 past this abysmal team. Exactly. Goal difference matters at the end of the season. It could matter. So might as well chuck it up. Might as well increase it. Because you have to do it. You just have to do it. Raya third best in the world. Donnarumma, Courtois are better. I would say Courtois for me is the best. Donnarumma is, I would say, second, and Raya third. I would put it in that order. Although Courtois, I think it was Oblak. I think Courtois said that Raya is the best keeper in world right now himself, which is very interesting. Anyways, moving on to right back. And here it gets tough, because Timba is under questions for tomorrow's game. Arteta gave no information regarding his injury, his problems, how big of a knock he has, and whether he's going to play or not. And this is where we are talking about White. We're talking about who else is there? Nichols and all these players. To be fair, these 2 games Arteta should have kept. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Randy is saying Ben White. Let's see. Thing with Golpi, especially at Raya, does nothing for 80 minutes. Does he really need the rest? True. Raya gets very barely involved, and he actually does make some great saves when he gets involved. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, I think Ben White goes there. Ben White goes in center back. Now, right back, sorry. The 2 center backs. I think the left center back is kind of a given. Is Hincapié, and left back it's gonna be Skelly, because Calafiori cannot even play. So we are talking about the right-sided center back. Now, is this going to be Saliba if he's fit? To be honest, we have to operate under the assumption that Saliba is not fit. Because Arteta said it's day to day. If you asked me that if he's going to play against Everton, I would say yes. If he's going to play tomorrow against Wolves, I have no idea. That's what he said. So technically speaking, we need to operate and move under assumptions that Saliba is not fit. We just need to take that into equation. Let's just put it that way. For me, ironically enough, I would go with Norgard. I would go with Norgard again. He did good against Club Brugge to a degree. Good passing, good distributions. Didn't have to do much defensively. Against Wolves, I also don't expect to do much defensively. Then again, Strand Larsen could maybe do something, or if he's not injured and everything. It's definitely going to be a very interesting one. On top of all that, remember last year's game against Wolves? When we went 1-0 up, and on stroke of halftime, Raya made an incredible save to keep it 1-0 before the halftime whistle as well. I just go Norgard. I also would go Norgard. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I would go Norgard as well. Midfield. I would assume Zubimendi is going to play just because Norgard is starting would be playing at center back. Zubimendi in the 6, people? What are we saying? Do we play Zubimendi in the 6? Are we playing Zubimendi in the 6? Zubi, Merino, Vanieri. Zubimendi or Odegaard, Eze. Norgard DM with Eze and Vanieri. Marlon, I'm gonna tell you this once and only once. It's Mikel Arteta, and there is no chance in hell whatsoever that he's gonna pay Murray Salmon at center back in Premier League at this time. Just yeah. I'd go Rice at the 6, Eze and Odegaard in front. I see. I would love to see Eze and Odegaard together. Eze in the 8, Odegaard in the 10. Would be interesting to see. I definitely would be interesting to see. Everyone's saying Rice, Zubimendi, or Odegaard, Rice, Zubimendi, Eze, Odegaard, Zubimendi, and stuff like that. What about this? Or is that too weak? Because Wolves have some physical players in the team. No, Zubimendi plays. Calafiori is only suspended. Calafiori is the one that's suspended. Zubimendi is fine, as far as I know. No way he's going that way. He would be too scared. Yeah. Go Odegaard, can see them targeting Norgard. They will try something, 100%. Big up, Gary. No need to thank. Big up to you. Big up, my guy. Odegaard as Zubimendi. For me, the biggest thing is that Rice, like, Arteta cannot help but not to play Rice. That, for me, is the biggest question here. And they have the fat guy who is very fast. Well, thank you, Captain Obvious. Yeah, Odegaard is going to play over Vanieri. 100%. 100%. I wouldn't mind saying Zubi, Odegaard, Vanieri. I get it. It's very interesting that also Arteta got asked in an interview about Vanieri. Maybe there's something to it. For me, the question is, isn't this midfield too weak? Let's just put it that way, physically too weak. Because the Wolves have some physical players. It's going to be tough against them. Bellegarde is a very good player. Let's be real. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Who are we playing right wing? We can come back to the midfield, so should not be an issue afterwards. Anyways, they're all seasoned pros. They should be well able. They should. That is the key word in all of this. They should, but will they? For me, it should be Madueke who plays right wing. Yep, it's too weak. Odegaard is weak by default, so that is another thing. Odegaard is very weak. He gets shoved off the balls way too easy and falls to the ground. I think that's why I go Rice for extra solidity. I'd go Saka, Gyökeres, Martinelli in case we need running and pressing. For me, I don't know. I want Madueke to start. Like, I know it's Bukayo Saka. Arteta has adopted him and everything. He tucks him in the bed, gives him hot cocoa every morning with chocolate chip pancakes and all this stuff. But I want Madueke to start. The game against Brugge, he deserves to start in Premier League as well. And if we have a chance to rotate before we go to Everton and everything, if we have a chance to give some extra rest to Rice, to Saka, to players like that, I would take that opportunity. That for me is the big question mark in this. Saka, one thing I will tell you that much. I will put Gyökeres up top because he has to start. Let's just put it that way. Would love to see Jesus is gonna come off the bench most likely. Yeah, Jesus is gonna come off the bench most likely for me. Everton game's a week away. We'll have full 7 days rest. That's a good amount of time to go strong and recover. I get it. But for me, the fact that Rice is a tiny bit limping, let's just put it that way, Saka, he gets never a rest. That for me is the reason why I would rest him while we have a chance. Because let's be real, next year, starting February, pretty much, all those players are gonna play every game with no exceptions, pretty much. So if we can get some extra minutes out of them right now, I would. Can't wait for the day that Odegaard leaves, most overrated player I've ever seen. That what does he actually do that warrants his superstar status at Arsenal? Good haircut, nice jawline. I don't know. He presses a lot. Is the stuff that he does off the ball. That's what I get told, at least. If we get pocketed again by Everton, I'm crashing out. Dude, you never know. You never know. Everton have a very good squad, bar the Newcastle jobbing. They have been on fire. Yeah, Everton have been very, very good. Yeah, no arguments about that. Very, very good. I assume Martinelli starts, right? On the left. And personally for me, Gyökeres can't get an attacking stat in this game. Boy, I know it's the system, but if we get more from the system with Jesus, start him. Yeah, in that regard, I totally agree. But the same thing goes with Jesus. You kind of just throw him in the deep end. He needs to get into games. He needs to get the match fitness, match sharpness as well, step by step. Defensive Everton are strong. I wonder if Ndaya will be out for them with AFCON. Maybe. That will be the team, no doubt. I don't think so. For me, what I expect personally, this is my, let's just say, subjective opinion of what I expect tomorrow, right? From the starting 11 is Raya, White, Norgard or Saliba, Hincapié, Skelly, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres, and Eze on the left wing. That's what I'm seeing tomorrow, from Mikel Arteta most likely, and that for me, and I cannot help but wonder. Let's just put it that way. AFCON players leave after this weekend's fixtures to report to their respective nations. Yeah, they do by December 15. Yeah. So they're most likely in Ndaya they won't have Ndaya. They just won't. So that is to some degree a good thing. To some degree a very good thing. Will give us easier game. Let's just put it that way. What's meant to do when he never receives the ball? Jesus is the link-up man. Yeah, and that's why he gets the ball and it works. This system is built for them. This system is built for them. That is the biggest thing. But I don't know. No. Do you think this 11 actually could be tomorrow? Could this be the 11 for tomorrow? Could this be? All right. I'm just checking something. Here you go. StreamYard is on a mad one. StreamYard literally is on a mad one. StreamYard is on a mad one. Finally, I'm back. Finally, I'm back, for frick's sake. Joker should easily have 4 or 5 more goals in the league. He has played. Yeah, he should, but we all know how he barely has he even had 15 chances in those 15 games, like overall. That's the other question. Once Havertz is back starting, it's going to be Groundhog Day. Yeah, it's gonna be Havertz number 1, Jesus number 2, and Gyökeres number 3 at best. Let's just put it that way. It's gonna be the third at best. Yeah. Remember he missed against United in the FA Cup? I'm not going to criticize Gyökeres. Yeah, that is the biggest thing. That for me is the biggest thing. Because if I look at this properly, right? If I look at I don't know how true this is, but hey. As they should have more, but look at all rebounds being blocked. Yeah, and he also plays on the left wing a bit and everything. As they finally had found his form in the number 10 spot, and it just basically happened as soon as Odegaard comes back, and then instantly Eze gets shoved aside and he's done for. Havertz needs 5 chances to score 1 goal. 5 chances, that is the best case scenario, even to some degree. That is the best case scenario. Let's just put it that way. And that is very, very worrying, to say the least. Anyways, people, predictions for the game. Predictions for the Wolves game. What are you expecting from tomorrow's game? Let me know your predictions for the game. Big up, Godfrey. Big up, Godfrey. Hope you're doing well. What are your predictions for tomorrow's game? Will we win? How it's going to go? Where it's going to lead? How everything is going to happen? Exactly. For me, Jesus could be an answer for the left wing issues. For me, Jesus could be the answer for the left wing issues. 4-0. Interesting. 3-0. Godfrey says 7-0. He's on something different today. But yeah, I'm saying 4-0 as well. We need to score minimum 3-4 goals tomorrow, because there are no excuses not to do so. No excuses whatsoever. Because, right? Yeah, Wolves have minus 25 goal difference as well. He is techie, yeah. 4-0, no excuses. 2-1, we struggled to break their low block. Interesting. Big up, Doctor. A sloppy 1-0. I'm saying 4-0. I want for Arsenal finally to show that they have some balls, go out and smash a team. I want to see that finally. I'm saying 4-0. The thing is, the first goal, we might need a while to score that goal. That is the other worry there. And the longer it takes us for us to score, the bigger chances our Wolves are going to be in the game. Let's just put it that way. Wolves have drawn 2 and lost the rest. Exactly. They are awful. So nothing but win and convincing win won't do to a degree. Let's be real. 3-0 all late goals. Everyone complains. Yeah, but Arsenal have this thing that they can be Santa Claus FC. Let's just put it that way. Arsenal have this thing in them that they tend to be Santa Claus FC and give points to a teams that should have no business in getting points of Arsenal. And that for me is another worry. I need to see 2 goals before 30th minute. Yeah, and preferably both from Gyökeres as well. Preferably both from Gyökeres as well. Let's just put it that way. Both from Gyökeres, please, as well. Because that would be the ideal scenario. Let's just put it that way. That would be the ideal scenario. Or how you look, how you looking at this or not. But yeah, I think on that note, we're gonna end today's stream, people. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe if you are new. Tomorrow, I'm not streaming because Arsenal play at my streaming time. Let's be real. So I'm going to see you all on Sunday. I'm going to see you all to Sunday for game reaction, game review. We'll see what Arsenal do to us. If you want to contact me, if you want to talk about the game, you can contact me on Twitter. Basically, Twitter. Or TikTok, but TikTok is, well, so might as well do it on Twitter. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, for today, I'm signing off. Take care, stay safe, and see you soon. Peace.